Hello everyone, in this video we are going to discuss discrete Fourier transform. Fourier transform on a discrete time signal is called discrete time Fourier transform. In previous classes we studied about discrete time Fourier transform, which is the Fourier transform on a discrete signal. We have the discrete signal as x of n. And the Fourier transform on the discrete signal x of n is a continuous function of omega. Its frequency spectrum is a continuous signal, continuous function of omega. We cannot process this continuous function signal by using a digital system. So, to perform or to convert the continuous function of omega to discrete function of omega, we use discrete Fourier transform. Discrete Fourier transform is a transformation technique which converts continuous function of omega, means continuous frequency spectrum, continuous function of omega to discrete function of omega. For this purpose, we are using the discrete Fourier transform. Means discrete Fourier transform is a transformation technique that converts the continuous function of omega to discrete function of omega. Here we are performing the discrete Fourier transform at particular intervals. So, these particular intervals are n samples. At n samples, we are performing the discrete Fourier transform. Let us move to the definition of DFT. The endpoint DFT of a finite duration sequence x of n of length n where n greater than or equal to L is defined as DFT of x of n equal to x of k equal to summation n0 to n minus 1 x of n e raised to minus j 2 pi nk by n for k equal to 0, 1, 2, etc. up to n minus 1. In this, the endpoint DFT, here the endpoint DFT means n samples are performing. N samples are performing. Here the DFT operations are performed at n sampled intervals. The endpoint DFT of a finite duration sequence. Finite duration sequence means x of n is a finite duration input sequence. It has a length L. So, the length of a input sequence x of n is capital L. One condition to perform the DFT is n should be greater than or equal to L. N means the number of samples we have to taken should be greater than or equal to the length of the input sequence. Then DFT of input sequence x of n is denoted by x of k. X of k. Then x of k equal to summation n0 to n minus 1 x of n e raised to minus j 2 pi nk by n. For k equal to 0, 1, 2, etc. up to n minus 1. These are the intervals or sampled intervals we are going to perform the discrete Fourier transform. X of k equal to summation n0 to n minus 1 x of n e raised to minus j 2 pi n k is the discrete Fourier transform of the input sequence x of n. Let us move to the first problem on discrete Fourier transform. Here our question is to compute the 4-point DFT of causal 3-sample sequence given by x of n equal to 1 by 3 for 0 less than or equal to n less than or equal to 2 and 0 else. Here we have given the samples at 0, 1, 2 and the values are 1 by 3. In 0, 1 and 2 position, the amplitude of the input sequence is 1 by 3 and the remaining samples, the value is 0. Here we have to find the 4-point DFT of this input sequence. By definition of n-point DFT, x of k equal to summation n 0 to n minus 1 x of n e raised to minus j 2 pi nk by n, where k equal to 0, 1, 2, etc. up to n minus 1. This is the general equation of DFT. We have n equal to 4 in our question. Therefore, for 4-point DFT, we can write the DFT equation as x of k equal to summation n 0 to 4 minus 1. We have n equal to 4. So 4 minus 1 x of n e raised to minus j 2 pi nk by 4 equal to summation n 0 to 3 x of n e raised to minus j n pi k by 2. Then on expanding this equation, we get x of 0 e raised to 0. On substituting small n as 0, then e raised to 0 plus x of 1 e raised to minus j 2 pi k by 2 when substitute the value of n as 1. And when n equal to 2, x of 2 e raised to minus j 2 pi k. And when n equal to 3, x of 3 e raised to minus j 3 pi k by 2. Substituting the values of x of 0, x of 1, x of 2 and x of 3 in this equation, we get 1 by 3. We know e raised to 0 equal to 1. So 1 by 3 into here 1. Here 1. So 1 by 3 into 1 equal to 1 plus 1 by 3 into e raised to minus j pi k by 2 plus 1 by 3 into e raised to minus j pi k plus x of 3. In input sequence, the value of x of 3 equal to 0. So, x of 3 e raised to minus j 3 pi k by 2. This term will become 0. Then 1 by 3 is common in all three terms. So, we can take 1 by 3 outside. So, 1 by 3 into 1 plus e raised to minus j pi k by 2 plus e raised to minus j pi k. Then we know the trigonometric equation e raised to minus j theta equal to cos theta minus j sin theta. Substitute this equation in this sentence. Then we can rewrite e raised to minus j theta as cos theta minus j sin theta. That means e raised to minus j pi k by 2 equal to cos pi k by 2 minus j sin pi k by 2. And e raised to minus j pi k equal to cos pi k minus j sin pi k. Then this equation will become 1 by 3. Here x of k equal to 1 by 3 into 1 plus cos pi k by 2 minus j sin pi k by 2 plus cos pi k minus j sin pi k. Then the values of x of k can be calculated for k equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Here we are taking the samples as k equal to 0, 1, 2, etc. up to n minus 1. N minus 1 means here we have n equal to 4. So n minus 1 samples means 3 up to 3 samples. That means the values of k will become 0, 1, 2, 3. Then we have to calculate the values of x of k for k equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Then at k equal to 0, x of 0 equal to 1 by 3 into 1 plus cos 0. Here we are substituting the values of 0, k equal to 0 in this equation. In this equation we have x of k in this equation number 1. Here we are applying the values of k equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. First, substituting the k equal to 0, x of 0 equal to 1 by 3 into 1 plus cos 0 minus j sin 0 plus cos 0 minus j sin 0 equal to 1 by 3 into 1 plus cos 0 equal to 1 minus 0 sin 0 0. So, minus 0 plus 1 minus 0 equal to 3 by 3. 3 by 3 equal to 1. Here angle equal to 0 because we get the magnitude as 1 and no angle. So angle 0. When k equal to 1, x of 1 equal to 1 by 3 into 1 plus cos pi by 2 minus j sin pi by 2 plus cos pi minus j sin pi. Here we are substituting the value of k equal to 1 in the equation number 1. Then we get 1 by 3 into 1 plus 0 minus j minus 1 minus j 0, which is equal to minus j by 3. In this, magnitude is 1 by 3 and angle is minus pi by 2. Then when k equal to 2, x of 2 equal to 1 by 3 into 1 plus cos pi minus j sin pi plus cos 2 pi minus j sin 2 pi. On substituting the values, we get the value answer as 1 by 3 and angle as 0. When k equal to 3, x of 3 equal to 1 by 3 into 1 plus cos 3 pi by 2 minus j sin 3 pi by 2 plus cos 3 pi minus j sin 3 pi equal to 1 by 3 into 1 plus 0 plus j minus 1 minus j 0, which is equal to j 1 by 3. Here the magnitude is 1 and angle is pi by 2. Then the 4-point DFT sequence of x of n we calculated is given by x of k equal to 1 angle 0. These are the values we get on substituting the values of k equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 in equation number 1. X of k equal to 1 angle 0 and 1 angle 0, 1 by 3 angle pi by 2. This is the first value, second value, then third value, and this is the fourth value. 1 angle 0, 1 by 3 angle minus pi by 2, 1 by 3 angle 0 and 1 by 3 angle pi by 2. In this, 1 is the magnitude, 1 by 3 is the magnitude, again 1 by 3, 1 by 3 are the magnitude, and angle of these values are 0, minus pi by 2, 0 and pi by 2. From this x of k DFT sequence, we can separate the magnitude function and phase function in this way. Magnitude function modulus of x of k equal to 1, 1 by 3, 1 by 3 and 1 by 3, and phase function equal to 0, minus pi by 2, 0, pi by 2. Then on plotting the frequency response, first we are going to plot magnitude response. Here we are taking the samples at the positions k, 0, 1, 2, 3, and from the 4 onwards it is going to repeat, and we get the values of 0 at sample k equal to 0 as 1, and at k equal to 1 as 1 by 3, and at k equal to 2 we get the value as 1 by 3. Again at k equal to 3 we get the value as 1 by 3. So on representing the k in x-axis and modulus of x of k in y-axis, we get the magnitude response of x of k for n equal to 4 as shown in the figure A. And in the second figure, we are going to plot the phase response of x of k. In the phase response of x of k, we have to plot k in x-axis and in y-axis phase, means angles are representing, angle x of k are represented in y-axis. In this here in y-axis the value varies from 0, pi by 4, pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. Similarly in the negative x-axis 0, minus pi by 4, minus pi by 2, minus 3 pi by 2, minus pi. On substituting the values of k equal to 0, we have the value of angle 0, and at k equal to 1 we have the angle minus pi by 2, and at k equal to 2 we have the value angle 0, and at k equal to 3 the angle is pi by 2. On plotting these values we get the phase response similar to this graph. This is a frequency response of the DFT sequence. Let us move to the second problem. Here our question is to compute the DFT of the sequence x of n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Sketch the magnitude and phase spectrum. First, by taking the definition of n-point DFT, x of k equal to summation n 0 to n minus 1 x of n e raised to minus j 2 pi n k by n for k equal to 0, 1 to etc. up to n minus 1. Here we have the length of the input sequence is 4. So we can compute the 4-point DFT. That means we are going to take the value of n as 4. Then the 4-point TFT of the sequence x of n is given by x of n equal to summation n 0 to 3 x of n e raised to minus j 2 pi nk by 4. This is equal to summation n 0 to 3 x of n e raised to minus j pi nk by 2. And expanding this equation, x of 0 e raised to 0 plus x of 1 e raised to minus j pi k by 2 plus x of 2 e raised to minus j pi k plus x of 3 e raised to minus j 3 pi k by 2. Here we have the value at k equal to 0, x of n is 0. That means at k equal to 0, the value of x of n equal to 0, and at k equal to 1, the x of n equal to 1. So here x of 0 equal to 0 and x of 1 equal to 1, we can write here as x of 0 equal to 0, x of 1 equal to 1, and x of 2 equal to 2, x of 3 equal to 3. These are our input samples. Then on writing these samples in this equation number 1, x of 0 0, x of 1 1, x of 2 2, x of 3 3. Then first sample becomes x of 0 e raised to 0 then becomes 0. 1 into e raised to minus j pi k by 2 plus 2 into e raised to minus j pi k plus 3 into e raised to minus j 3 pi k by 2. Here we can rewrite e raised to minus j pi k by 2 as cos pi k by 2 minus j sin pi k by 2. Similarly, e raised to minus j pi k can be write as cos pi k minus j sin pi k, and e raised to minus j 3 pi k by 2 as cos 3 pi k by 2 minus j sin 3 pi k by 2. Then at k equal to 0, substitute the value of k as 0 in this equation. We can write the equation this one as 2. Substituting k equal to 0 in equation 2, we can write x of 0 equal to cos 0 minus j sin 0 plus 2 cos 0 minus j sin 0 plus 3 into cos 0 minus j sin 0, which is equal to 1 minus 0 plus 2 into 1 minus 0 plus 3 into 1 minus 0. We get the value as 6 angle 0. When k equal to 1, x of 1 equal to cos pi by 2 minus j sin pi by 2 plus 2 cos pi minus j sin pi plus 3 cos 3 pi by 2 minus j sin 3 pi by 2. Here we get the value as 0 minus j plus 2 into minus 1 minus 0 plus 3 into 0 plus j equal to minus 2 plus 2j. Here minus 2 plus 2j. The magnitude of minus 2 plus 2j, minus 2 plus 2j. This is in a complex number a plus j b. The magnitude of this complex number equal to root of a square plus b square. Similarly, here we can write root of 2 square 4. 4 plus again 2 square 4. Root 4 means root 8, which is equal to 2.8 angle 35. Here we can take the angle by using the equation tan inverse of b by a. Here we have b equal to 2 and a equal to minus 2. Then it will become tan inverse of 2 by minus 2 equal to tan inverse of minus 1, which is equal to 135 degree, equal to 2.8 angle 135. Here 135 is in degree form. We have to convert that to radian. So we multiply 135 with a pi by 180 to convert it to radian. Then the answer will become 2.8 angle 0.75 pi. Then when k equal to 2, x of 2 equal to cos pi minus j sin pi plus 2 cos 2 pi minus j sin 2 pi plus 3 cos 3 pi minus j sin 3 pi. Substituting the values, we get the answer as 2 angle 180 degree. Here it's a real number 2 and angle 180 degree, that is in degree form. So we have to convert that to radian. 1 by 80 into pi by 180, then we got 2 angle pi. When k equal to 3, x of 3 equal to cos 3 pi by 2 minus j sin 3 pi by 2 plus 2 cos 3 pi minus j sin 3 pi plus 3 into cos 9 pi by 2 minus j sin 9 pi by 2. When substituting the values, we get minus 2 minus j2. The magnitude of this equal to 2.2 and the angle is minus 135 degree. We have to this minus 135 is in degree, so we have to convert that to radian. Multiply by pi by 180 to convert the degree value into radian. Then we get the value as 2.8 angle minus 0.75 pi. Then these are the DFT values we get after performing the DFT. X of k equal to 6 angle 0 and 2.8 angle 0.75 pi, 2 angle pi, 2.8 angle minus 0.75 pi. Here magnitude function modulus of x of k equal to 6, 2.8, 2, 2.8 and phase function angle x of k equal to 0, 0.75 pi, pi minus 0.75 pi. On plotting the frequency response, the magnitude spectrum will become in this format. Here k is represented in x-axis and modulus of x of k is marked in y-axis. At k equal to 0, we have the value magnitude as 6 and at k equal to 1, we have the value 2.8 and at k equal to 2, we get the value as 2 and at k equal to 3, we get the value as 2.8. On plotting these values in the graph, we get the magnitude spectrum in this way. And to plot the phase spectrum, we have to represent the k in x-axis and in y-axis the phase is going to represent. Angle x of k is marked. Here in y-axis, we can mark here as 0, then pi by 4, pi by 2 and pi. Similarly, in negative x-axis it will become 0, minus pi by 4, minus pi by 2, like this. So on plotting the values 0.75, at k equal to 0, we have the angle as 0 and at k equal to 1, we get the value 0.75 pi and at k equal to 2, we get the value pi and at k equal to 3, we get the value as minus 0.75 pi. On plotting these in graph, we get the phase spectrum of our input sequence in this way. So in this video, we explain the discrete Fourier transform of the given input sequence. Here we are converting the continuous function of omega, means the continuous frequency spectrum, into discrete frequency spectrum by using the discrete Fourier transformation technique. That's all in this video. Thank you.